Okay, yes, it's Joe here for Joyrider TV, and today what we're going to look at is how to use the Spinnaker on the Hobie 16, and this is especially if you're doing it for the first time and you're not really sure what you should do and how to do it safely. Today I'm sailing with Jordan.
Hi.
Jordan's one of the top instructors at Wild Wind Mauritius. We're just sailing in out in Prindle Bay on the island of Mauritius. So what we're going to look at with the Spinnaker is what to do before you hoist it, the hoisting the Spinnaker, and sailing with it, jibing and then dropping. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we've got a lot of space and there's and that space needs to be downwind from where we are now. So at the moment we're sailing kind of upwind, so we're looking this way. There is a lot of space, that's good. Second thing that we want to look at is we want to make sure that the wind is quite light and steady, especially if it's your first time. If it's quite windy, it can be quite intimidating to put the Spinnaker up unless you're experienced with it. So yes, that's a tick for the wind is light and fairly steady. The next thing we're going to do before hoisting the kite is we're going to bear away onto a broad reach. So while we do this, I'm going to ease the traveller, the main sheet out. Jordan, if you could just let the jib out a bit there as well. Cool, man. And then once we're on a broad reach, we know that we're on a broad reach when the apparent wind, indicated on the wind indicators, would you believe, is coming straight across. And once we're there, Jordan can then go for the hoist, pulling from behind the block on the trampoline. You can see it's more efficient that way. And then once the Spinnaker's up, Jordan can take the sheet. And then, so for the crew first, or the person on the sheet, if you're single-handed, is we're just pulling the Spinnaker in until the front edge stops flapping, and then when it stops flapping we can just sail with it there for a minute, ease it out again just to make sure that the Spinnaker is never in too tight. So that's the most important thing, that the Spinnaker is never in too tight. So constantly sheeting in and sheeting out to make sure that that sail is in the sweet spot. And then as the helm, we're completely controlling the power of the boat using the steering. So the closer we bring the boat towards the wind, the more power we're going to have, and we'll pick up speed a little bit. And if it was windy, we might even start lifting a hull, and if it was really windy, we might even capsize. So we're sailing up towards the wind, up this way for more power, down away from the wind for less power, just depending on what we want. And we're just continuing that. So the steering is essential for controlling the power. Releasing the main sheet isn't going to get rid of the power if you think you're going to capsize. So in the light wind, just keep the mainsail about where we've got it there. There's a bit of a gust, so I'm just bearing away, and the boat just calms down a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to go for a jibe. So just on the jibe, Jordan's just going to ease the Spinnaker out on that side, and when we go through, he's going to pull it across. And on the helm, I'm just going to go through the jibe as normal. Okay, so here we go. Ready? Okay, going for the jibe. And then taking care of the Spinnaker first, and then the jib once the Spinnaker's taken care of. Because on the 16, we haven't got the self-tacking jib. Of course, if you want to fit a self-jibing jib to your boat, refer to the self-jibing jib video. There'll be a link at the end of this one, so you can find that. Okay, so again, we're just trimming the Spinnaker, making sure But as we ease it out, the front edge of the sail just curls, and then on the helm we're just steering the boat for the power. Okay, and then for the drop, what we're going to do is we're going to turn the boat a little bit more downwind, and then Jordan's going to take up the slack on the retrieval first. So you take up the slack first, so yeah, that. Okay, and then once he's got the slack there, releasing the halyards, okay, and pulling it down with purpose. Okay, and then only once the spinnaker is down, we can then alter course and come up towards the wind, if that's what we want to do. Oh yeah, good work. Yeah, man. Okay, so one other key point there is if at any point you want to take a breather but you don't want to drop the spinnaker, then just point the boat quite far downwind and then the boat will really calm down. Okay, it's just started to rain, so I'll just say thanks for watching. Hope that's helped anybody who's using the spinnaker on the 16 for the first time. We're going to crank this bad boy up. Jordan's got his protective glasses on, it's a good choice. All right. Well, Giovanni promised this would only be for 10 minutes. Here now.